Okay, today I'm going to show you how to complete your Human Characteristics of Florida, Latitude, and Longitude page. So let's get started. You're going to start by putting your name, your date, and your code on the top of the page. Let's read the instruction. Using the coordinates, locate the different places on the map. Cut out the icons and glue them to the correct places on the map. It's okay if the icons overlap. So first we're going to cut out these little icons at the bottom of the page. And while I'm working, I'm going to leave them all attached to each other. That way there's less of a chance that I will lose them as I work. All right, let's start with Key West. It says Key West is located at 24.5 degrees north. That's our latitude. And our longitude is 81.7 degrees west. So all our latitude lines are the lines that run this way on the map, east to west. So you can remind yourself by highlighting these numbers on the side. Highlight your longitude lines at the bottom. That may be helpful. Key West is at 24.5 degrees north. 24.5 is going to be between the 24 and the 25. Now there's not a 24 on this map, but you know that it's got to be here. So the 24.5 would be right about here. And we're going to mark that on both sides of our map. And then it says 81.7 degrees west. 81.7 will be between the 81 and the 82, a little bit closer to the 82. There's at the bottom. Put it at the top. Now we can use our ruler to draw a nice straight line. Well, usually we start here with the latitude, but I've already marked both, so it doesn't really matter. Right where those two lines cross is where you're going to put your little icon for Key West, which is a sun. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is glue all these down, because it would be very easy for someone to jump to the end of our project and just copy where all of these icons go. So I'm not going to glue them down, but what you'll do is you'll glue that guy right there. Okay? Let's do a few more of these. Fort Jefferson, Dry Tortugas National Park. The latitude is 24.6 degrees north, and our longitude is 82.9 degrees west. And the little icon is a turtle. 24.6 degrees north. It's gonna be a little bit north of what we've previously drawn over here with the 24.5. This was 24.5, we just did that with the last one. 24.6 degrees north would be a little bit higher than that. Then it says 82.9 degrees west. 82.9 would be closer, really close to this 83. And then if you come up here, 82.9. And then you are going to draw your latitude and longitude lines. We're going to start with the latitude like we were supposed to last time. And then your longitude line. All right. Then you're going to cut out your little turtle. And glue your turtle where those two lines cross. So you'll have your turtle there and your little sun there so far. Now remember what we said when we did our US landmark page is that if your icon is within a pinky finger of, like a pinky fingernail of where it needs to be, that's okay. But your little icon should not be in a totally different box, because that just shows that you don't know where it's supposed to go. It's not going to fit perfectly in the boxes. It's okay if it overlaps with the lines. And some of the icons are going to overlap quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to move these off. We're going to go ahead and do the University of Gainesville. 29.6 degrees north, 82.3 degrees west, 29.6 degrees north is going to be between the 29 and the 30. So if you look on the side, 29 and the 30. 29.6, a little bit closer to the 30. And we're going to mark that on both sides. And then 82.3 degrees west would be between the 82 and the 83. I'm starting to run out of room over here. Mark it on the top and at the bottom. And then you're going to connect those lines. You want to start with your line of latitude. Draw your parallel, where we call all of our lines of latitude. They can also be called parallels. Draw your line of longitude. And where those two lines cross up here, that's where Gainesville must be. So you'll cut out your little alligator. The mascot of the University of Florida are the Gators. Some of my Seminole fans might not like it that I didn't include two universities on this map, or my University of Tampa, or my USF fans, but we're just trying to include a variety of human characteristics, so we just put one university. So that's where we would put Gainesville, or the University of Florida. All right, let's go ahead and put the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Now there's going to be a whole bunch right around Tampa that kind of overlap with each other. 727.6 degrees north is our line of latitude, and then our line of longitude is 82.6. Okay, we're going to mark 82.6 on our map. We're starting to run out of even more room down here. It's okay, you can just extend your line down if you need to. 82.6 degrees, 82.6 degrees, and then 27.6. Oh, I should have started with my latitude. Oh well. 27.6 is between the 27 and the 28. A little bit closer to the 28. Mark that on both sides. Then you are going to connect your lines. Start with your latitude. The reason you're supposed to start with your latitude always is to remind yourself that when you write coordinates, your latitude is supposed to come first. It doesn't really matter when you're marking them on your map. All right. So where those two lines cross right here, which you can see is right between where Bradenton is and where Tampa or St. Pete is, that's where the bridge goes. So you're going to cut out your little icon. And you're going to glue that right there. All right, Disney World. Disney World is at 28.4 degrees west. Let's highlight that. And 81.5, or 28.4 degrees north, 81.5 degrees west. 28.4 would be between the 28 and the 29. A little bit closer to the 28. And 28.4 on this side. Then it says 81.5 degrees west, 81.5. We have already drawn 81.7 back when we did Key West. 81.5 would be a little bit over from that. 81.5, 81.5. Okay, grab your ruler. Start with our line of latitude at 28.4. And then come into your line of longitude at 81.5. And where those two lines cross, right here, that's where you get Disney World. Okay. The Castillo de San Marcos. Our coordinates are 29.8 degrees north, 81.3 degrees west. 29.8 is going to be between your 29 and your 30. Mark it on the side. And then 81.3 is going to be a little bit before your line that you drew for Disney World. I think the hardest part of this really is just making, you've got a whole bunch that are right here in center Florida, so you have to be careful with all these lines. All right, 29.8. Marking our line of latitude, our parallel. And now we're going to mark our meridian, also known as the line of longitude. Castillo de San Marcos. We know that the Castillo was built by the Spanish. And where Ponce de Leon first landed was up here at St. Augustine. So even though the Castillo was not built by St. Augustine, this is generally the area where the Spanish first settled. We know that that answer kind of makes sense. So there's St. Augustine, or the Castillo de San Marcos. Okay. I'm going to do one more of these, and then we're going to call it good. I think then you've seen enough where you can do the rest by yourself. If you're unsure, you can come and ask me in class. The Florida Aquarium is at 27.9 degrees north, and the longitude is at 82.4 degrees west. I'm going to come and mark your coordinates on the side first. 27.9 degrees north is going to be very close to this 28. Mark it on both sides. And then 82.4 is going to be right next to this 82.3. We're going to draw our line of longitude first. And then our line of latitude. And then you will place your little Florida Aquarium, which is a shell because the Florida Aquarium is shaped like a giant clam shell. You're going to put that right there. Now it's going to overlap with your Sunshine Skyway, and it's going to overlap with your Dali Museum. Salvador Dali has a very distinct mustache, so that's why you're putting a mustache there for Salvador Dali. And that's going to be in St. Pete. So it's going to be hard to fit those if you try to put them all separately, obviously, but you can overlap them, and that's fine. We can still tell. I can still tell, or Mrs. Howard, and whoever grades your sheet can still tell that that's where you're putting them. University of Miami, that's the logo of the University of Miami. So we picked that. This is the NASA logo, and one of NASA's key research facilities and launching sites is in Cape Canaveral. So that's why we're using that one for our Cape Canaveral site. This Crooked River Lighthouse is found in the Panhandle. There's a good clue. And then we've got the State House, the State Capitol building, which is going to be in our capital, Tallahassee. So I think you guys should be able to figure out how to do this now. It's going to look a little bit wonky with all your lines. Just take it slow. And if you have any questions, come and ask me. All right. Good luck.